Okay, so let's have a look now at stretching some objects using the stretch command. Now the stretch command is here. It's up here on the modify panel. It's not on the right hand shortcut menu. So you can't select an object, right click and go to stretch on the shortcut menu. You have to use the modify panel. That's no problem though. What we have here is a house, and it's a very basic plan view of a ground floor of a house. So I'm just going to pan down slightly and zoom in on the top half of the house here, the bedroom and the lounge. Now you've got some dimensions here. Now keep an eye on those when you use the stretch command. Now we're going to stretch the bedroom and the lounge vertically upwards by 2 meters. This is a metric drawing, so that will be a distance of 2000 units, 2000 millimeters. Now when you use the stretch command, you must use a crossing selection or crossing polygon to select the objects. The stretch will not work otherwise. So I go to stretch. Now a little trick, at the select objects prompt, if you type in C for crossing and press enter, it will now always be a crossing selection, regardless of which direction you go. So I can go from left to right. I can left click here, drag, look, and you normally get a blue window there. You'll notice I'm getting a green dashed one, a crossing selection. So I go across the ends of the rooms I want to stretch there, and also notice I'm crossing the dimensions. I left click again, and there's the objects selected for the stretch. I now right click to confirm that, and it'll ask me for a base point for that stretch. Now I'm stretching these 2 rooms internally. So I'm going to use an internal corner there, left click, I've got polar on down there on the status bar, so as I come up now I can drag up that polar tracking line like so. Now as long as that polar tracking line stays vertical at 90 degrees, I can just type in 2000 as my distance and press enter, and there's my stretch. Now you'll notice, look, the walls have stretched here, but none of this top bit has changed. That's because it's moved in the direction of the stretch, because it was in the plane of the stretch. But look at the dimensions. They've updated because they are associative dimensions. That's where your dim ASOC variable is set to 2. If I right click and go to options, and go to user preferences here, make new dimensions associative. So any dimensions that you put on a drawing, if that box is ticked, the dim ASOC variable will be set to 2. Make sure your dim ASOC system variable is set to 2. Then your dimensions will be associative and they will stretch with the stretch like so. I'm just going to pan up the drawing a little bit now, and we're going to look at the hallway and the bathroom now. So get that up towards the top of the screen using pan like that. Same process, I go to stretch. This time though, instead of typing C, I'm going to type CP for crossing polygon and press enter. It'll now prompt me for the first polygon point. I can now draw a many-sided shape around the objects that I want to stretch. So I'm going to start here and just work my way through. I'm going to go around the doors, avoid the hallway text. Notice I'm clicking away here. Doesn't matter how many points I actually use. I'm going to come down through there because I don't want to stretch that bathroom window. Down here, across this way to here. There's my crossing polygon. So all the objects crossed in that polygon will be stretched. I then right click again and select enter to confirm the polygon and the objects in the polygon. I then right click again now to confirm the object selection in the stretch command. 2 right clicks, remember that. So, internal corner again, that one there, left click, drag vertically downwards down my polar tracking line like so. I type in 2000, as I did before, and press enter, and everything stretches. Notice I avoided those arcs. When you stretch arcs, they look messy. So make sure you go round them with a crossing polygon selection. Now I've made a bit of a mess here. You'll notice that door has moved downwards by 2000. Why do I move that door? That means I've got to make a new hole for the door, move the door, and fill up the hole of the old door. So I've moved that door when I didn't need to in the stretch. Now you can move objects using the stretch command. It's real easy. If I click on stretch here and just left click there, drag upwards to the left and do a crossing selection like that, and then right click to confirm. I can just pick a point on that door now, go vertically upwards, type in 2000, and that door moves back to its original position. So you can move objects in the direction of your stretch plane as well. Notice nothing else changed there apart from the door position. All that stretched were these walls. All of the door and everything just moved in the plane of the stretch. So as you can see there, your stretch command is very useful. Use a crossing selection, so at the select objects prompt type C and enter, or use a crossing polygon selection by typing CP and then enter at the select objects prompt.